Hey T-Squad, it's Kirsty. And today, the sector drama has somehow gotten even messier. Every time someone goes live to clear things up, it just creates more questions. And the latest live? Yeah, that one raised a lot of red flags. So let's talk about it. Jed went live to defend himself. But instead of helping his case, he actually made things sound worse. During the live, he said that he slapped his ex-wife. His reason? He said she made his friend's kids cry. Now hold on a second. You say you were protecting children, but your solution was violence? How does that help the kids? All that does is add more trauma to the situation. That's not protecting children. That's escalating things. And honestly, the lack of self-awareness there is wild. Then he asked his wife if she ever felt unsafe with him. But that argument doesn't really prove anything. History is full of examples where people felt safe with someone and later found out they were extremely dangerous. Even the spouses of serial offenders often believed everything was fine. So, saying someone felt safe isn't the solid defense people think it is. Another thing people have noticed, why does it seem like most of the people he takes in or helps are young girls? That's something people are questioning. Because when patterns start appearing, people start asking questions. And there's another question people keep bringing up. Why did the mother of that girl reportedly not like him? What happened there? Situations like that usually don't come out of nowhere. And let's talk about something else. Encouraging a young girl to do sexy dancing online? That is not normal stepdad behavior. Most parents try to protect kids from that kind of attention on the internet. They don't encourage it. So yes, people are going to question that. Now, let's talk about the domestic violence part of the story where he defends the Jedi. Some people keep saying, well, he wasn't convicted. But let's be honest. Domestic violence cases often don't stick. Not because nothing happened, but because victims are scared, pressured, or emotionally manipulated into dropping charges. That happens more often than people realize. So, not convicted does not automatically mean innocent. Here's the bigger issue. In this sector, some people only use morals when the narrative suits them. When it helps their argument, suddenly they care about ethics. But when it comes to the people they sit with, those standards disappear. And that hypocrisy is exactly why the sector stays messy. You can't point fingers with dirty hands. Everyone involved has played a part in this chaos. Now, let's talk about Stormy for a moment. Because something that stood out recently was seeing her mod people who were attacking her just last month. That's confusing to a lot of people. It looks like choosing numbers and views over genuine support. And honestly, that's one of the reasons I stepped back. I spent time helping her. I made graphics and assets because she said she was struggling with content. She used them a few times, and then suddenly everything just disappeared into a folder. Later, it was almost like she had nothing to use. And that just didn't sit right with me. Because that was a lot of time and effort, trying to help someone. Another thing we need to talk about is the projection. Stormy has said many times that she isn't a drunk. But on a live stream, she admitted she is an alcoholic. She even said the withdrawals could be dangerous. Yet somehow, I was the one being called a liar. Make that make sense. Because mixing alcohol with psychiatric medication is not a good situation. And it might explain some of the behavior we've been seeing. What's even more confusing is seeing her now sitting with people who previously doxed her, people who made her cry on stream. And now suddenly everything is fine? That's a huge shift. And of course people are going to question it and donat, yes, I am a critical thinker. Nothing in this situation is completely black and white. Both sides have done things wrong. But what bothers me is when people hide their own actions and blame everyone else. That's not accountability. That's deflection. Now let's talk about the situation with Lady T. Was she over the top sometimes? Yes. But what happened there also looked like emotional manipulation. You knew how she felt, and you knew how to push those buttons. Instead of owning that dynamic, the narrative became that she was simply crazy. And that kind of label is often used to avoid responsibility. If both sides owned their part, they could actually move forward. But that requires honesty. At the end of the day, the real problem in this sector isn't just the drama. It's the hypocrisy. People demanding accountability, while refusing to hold themselves to the same standards. And until that changes, the mess will keep repeating. But I want to hear from you, T-Squad. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the commentary. And as always, keep sipping that tea.